If that $30,000 task throughout the whole year, all the time and effort my employees put into it, only saves me $5,000, let's just have the script and be $5,000 and call it a day. You as a CEO or as an owner, you should be having enough time to sit up, look around and say, what are we doing that we really don't have to be doing? All right. Good morning, everybody. And should I say a happy new year? I took the last 6 weeks off and just kind of had so much going on that I decided that, you know what, Thanksgiving, Christmas, so much going on, paying attention to the family. I said, let's shut down the podcast for 6 weeks. So this is the first one back. I haven't been in the studio in 6 weeks. Kind of feels like I left home for a little bit. So for you guys looking for another podcast, I apologize in advance, but I had to focus on the family and other things. All right, so let's see what happened in 6 months. Bunch of craziness. Integrated Signs has some new employees. We are excited about that. There's a chance for a new building. I put an offer in. They did not respond. The broker came back and said it's the holidays. We'll respond after the new year. So the offer did expire, but we're hoping to get a rebuttal from them. Let's see if we can't land a building. 19,500 square feet. So we're pretty excited about that. So that's integrated. SquareQuill, we launched a new website. So come check us out at squarequill.com. Very proud of the website. It's a lot better than the last one. Gives you a lot more information very quickly. You don't have to keep scrolling everywhere. So we're pumped about that. What else we have? Oh, Make It Happen. I think Make It Happen, the Signage Academy. They're coming here middle of February. They're actually going to do a training, a one-day training seminar here at our SquareQuill's headquarters. So that's pretty cool. So a bunch of stuff going on, bunch of neat stuff. New year, new you, right? That's what everybody always says. And it's cliche. Come on, it really is. But does it work? Yeah, if you want to, it does work. I will be very honest with you, as cliche as it is. I kind of stopped going to the gym for the last 3 weeks. I hit the booze pretty hard, hit every sugary candy known to man pretty hard. So my waistline grew, my arms shrank, all the fun stuff that happens during the holidays. But with that, I said, all right, starting in January. Now, for all of us, we all know New Year's is January 6th. Come on now, we're going to play the whole rest of this week. But January 6th truly is the new year, the start of the new year. And we had a personal trainer come to the house, and he's going to start coming to our house and train. And he started, his first day was today. He made me do a whole bunch of stretching exercises, which of course a man in his mid 40s does not stretch. So that was nice and painful. If you guys don't stretch and you're over the age of 30, for the love of God, put that into your daily routine. Your body will thank you 30 years from now. You see the guys in 70 who run a marathon. You see the guys in 70 with a walker. You can tell who stretched and who didn't. You only got one body. You can buy everything else, I promise. Small segue here. Want to talk to you guys about SquareQuill software and what it does for your companies. If you're the type of guy that's still doing pen and paper and you think you're rocking and rolling, you just might be, but you're not running at the most efficient pace possible for yourself. Imagine doing a report. You want to know how many sales each salesperson did for the entire year. So you sit down and you get all your books out, and it takes you 2-3 hours to build this Excel spreadsheet, and you got your answer. But what if you could just click a button? And then your 2 or 3 hours are back in your hands, and you can evoke change inside of your company for those 2-3 hours versus building a report. That's what SquareQuill software does for you. That's what we bring to the table in the way of efficiency. So check us out if you're not using us. But with the new you and the new thought process, I always go back to this at the beginning of January, and I want you guys to follow along with me on this one. And what I mean by follow along is, yeah, you're going to listen. I get that part, but do it. Do it just how I'm doing this, and let's see what your company does over the next 30 days. And this week, we are going to find out all the fluff that we have in our companies. I do this every year. I enjoy this process. I listen to a podcast with Elon Musk, and he does this continuously throughout the year. I'm not that disciplined, but every beginning of every year, I look at our entire processes and I go, what can I cut out? What do I do not need to do that I'm so much double entry that I don't need to do anymore? Are we writing a shop order on a piece of paper and then we're writing the shop order in SquareQuill? Are we telling all our team what to do and in the morning have another powwow to tell them exactly what we told them to last night? Are we telling letting them figure out where to go in SquareQuill to find the information, and then the very next day giving them a piece of paper with the same information? What are you doing in your company that's double duty? Now, once you that's one column. Write all those down. That's double entry, so to speak, for your company. You're doubling your processes for the same outcome. Now, what process have you done forever to the point you literally almost say, the old generation did it this way, so I'm doing it this way? What do those processes look like? Do we still need them? I'm going to tell you right now, for me, the closed order packets. We have a closed order packet that when the job is completely done, I get it put on my desk to sign off on. The closed order packet has the overview page from ScoreCrawl on page one. It has all the labor broken down by reports on page 2 and 3. The POs written or printed out on pages 3 and 4, and then any supporting documentation for that project. And that's exactly how well we did. We cost it out. All that information is in SquareCoil. Why do I need that information printed out and handed to me? Well, we've done it that way for the last 20 years, and this year it stops. I don't need it. I can go to closed projects and review them. If one's out of line, I click on it and go into that project. It's really simple. So, am I going to kill less trees? Absolutely. Am I going to speed up the process? Yes. That's one of many that I plan on cutting out. What I really like about this process is I want to keep cutting out things until I cut out something that's important and I hurt myself a little bit. If I cut out a process and a job goes sideways and that process that I cut out could have prevented that, now I've cut too deep. But if I get rid of processes after I'm very, very safe and I'm very, very secure that I don't need this process anymore, and we've built other bridges so we can cut this bridge down 3 months later, that's not moving at efficiency speed. That's moving at a very slow dinosaur glacier speed. We want to move with efficiency. We want to move fast. And how we're going to do that is to make mistakes going into a positive nature. Sounds kind of weird, right? Make mistakes going into a positive nature. What that looks like is we're going to keep honing our processes and becoming more and more efficient until we take out a process that hurts us. Then we put that process back in. You put in 10%, 15% of the process back in after you take them out, you're doing pretty good. If you never put a process back in that you've taken out, you're not cutting deep enough into the processes. You're not becoming as efficient as you can. You still have fluff. You have to find your line in the sand. But the only way to know to find your line in the sand is to cross it. That's the only way to find it. So as I'm going through my companies right now, I'm going to say, do we need to do this anymore? What happens if we don't do this? What are the ramifications? And then I'm going to go one step further throughout this month, and I'm actually going to put a dollar number to it and go, okay, this cost me $30,000 to complete this task that I put in here. How much money is that saving me? If that $30,000 task throughout the whole year, all the time and effort my employees put into it, only saves me $5,000, let's just have the script and be $5,000 and call it a day. I'd rather keep 25 grand in my pocket and not do this step. I need to put a financial dollar amount to this step and say, is it worth it for me to continue? Those are the type of steps that I really want you guys to be looking at and thinking about. How much does it cost me? How much time does it take? And do we really need it? It's a long process. Easy to explain, very hard to do and go through it. But the more that you step back and look at your company as a whole, you're going to be a lot better off. If you're buried in the weeds every single day and you don't have time to put your head up out of the sand, so to speak, and look around, you got too much on your plate and you need to start delegating. That's a whole different topic. But you as a CEO or as an owner, you should be having enough time to sit up, look around and say, what are we doing that we really don't have to be doing? That's my New Year's resolution for my companies every year. I'm not disciplined enough to do it continuously for all 12 months, but I do it every single year. Join me on this ride. Email me. Tell me how you guys did. You can always hit me up at ac@aaronclippinger.com. And you always find me on YouTube and comment there. Talk to you guys.